Good morning. You are tuned in to OG Lowe's Hangout Corner. I'm your host, Carlos Stargell, aka OG Lowe. What I want, before I get to my subject, what I want to talk about today, I just want to give a shout out to my cousin Skip Clark out in California. I just want to send my condolences to him and the family for the loss of his wife. God bless you, man. You have my condolences. And if you need me, I'm here if you need to talk. You have my number, 919-292-5599. Just want to let you know I'm sorry to hear about your loss. I love you. Call me if you need me. But anyway, just keep my man Skip Clark and his family in prayer right now for the loss of his wife, Jessica. Okay, now what I want to talk about is what the chaos that went on in Nashville, Tennessee. Come on now, elementary school. How you just gonna go up and shoot up a school? What is wrong with these people? They say the one who did it was transgender. Well, for what I pinpoint, this dude must have been teased a lot, joned out, talked about, dogged out, mistreated, all that. But I can understand you being mistreated, teased, or whatever. But it doesn't make it right for you to go out and just shoot up a school, man. Come on. I mean, no matter how mad you get, and no matter how bad people talk about you, tease you, or whatever, that didn't give you the right to go kill. Thou should not kill. Come on now. They say be angry, yet sin not. But guess what? It's a lot of people that won't think before they act. But at the same time, too, you got to be careful who you tease, who you mistreat, or who you just mess with, period. Because people today are not people today are not taking a whole bunch of mess anymore. Why? Because honestly, they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. They probably been teased so long that they just to the point where they just out for blood. But like somebody was telling me, I'm not gonna say who, they would say, come on now, that's been years ago. I say, but you don't understand. Sometimes a lot of people, it might have been years for so long for so many people. But one thing I can say, and you can rest for sure, people don't forget how they've been mistreated, how they've been dogged, how they've been taken advantage of, or whatnot. And like they say, when a dog get tired, that dog gonna eventually snap and bite you. Just like I think about this person that did the shooting, I think over the years he probably had time to sit up and plot, think about what they were gonna do. Cause sometimes when you plot, people can plot for years and you don't even know that they're plotting against you. So that's why it's the golden rule to be careful who you mess with, who you tease, who you mistreat, and just that the basic rules. You just got to be careful because you don't know people's situations. You don't know what they're going through. You don't, and we really don't know what's going through their minds because check this out. Sometimes something, and the one thing you got to be careful are the ones who don't hardly say anything. Those are the worst ones because you never know what's going through their mind. For real. Just because they're not saying, just because they're not saying anything, just because they're not speaking, the words are not coming out their mouth, That doesn't mean that they don't have a mind, because sometimes the quietest person can be the one, can be the last person you suspect in anything. I mean, they can come out of nowhere. And that's the messed up part about it. We always expect the ones who always running off at the mouth, talking about what they're gonna do, when they're gonna do it, how they're gonna do it. But really, sometimes you got to be careful about that too, because think about it. Some people be so ticked at the time. I mean, they don't think before they talk. And that's one thing, and they sure don't think before they act. But the ones who don't think before they talk, that's another thing. They can be mad as I don't know what, and they can say something like, "I'm gonna kill this," you know. But when they don't do it, and they know they didn't did it, and somebody else done it, all fingers point at the person that said it. To be honest with you, because that's why they always say, when you're angry, be careful about the words that come out your mouth, because especially for our people, because because when we do that, we make ourselves a target. That means if something was to happen to them, especially if you're feuding, or you're feuding, all fingers gonna be pointed at you. But if they do, you make sure that you got yourself together. Make sure you got an alibi. Make sure you got proof and witnesses. And like I said, alibis. But sometimes that don't mean nothing either. Not for us. We can have. I mean, people like ourselves. I mean, I'm not trying to sound racist or off the wall, but I'm just gonna tell it like it is. People of color like ourselves, we have it bad. We always get the end of the stick for everything, for real, because it's bad enough we living in a country and they want us to fight for a country who don't give two shits about us. And you think I'm gonna go fight? You think I'm gonna go to another country and kill somebody? I don't even know. They got me all messed up. But I will tell you this: since they want to send people out to war, send them so-called gangsters and fake ass gang bangers who think going to jail is a badge of honor, and they think it's cool, and they think it's okay. They think they can get away with whatnot. Send them Rudy Poos out there. Put them on the front line. Stop messing with the ones. Stop messing with the ones, and stop trying to choose us for the color of our skin and try to make you do your dirty work. You started it, you finish it. Damn it. But for real though, I mean I'm sorry for that last word, but it just angers me sometimes of all the crap we have to go through on this earth undeservedly. I mean, it's not that we're not angry. We're just tired. We have trust issues. We always get the bad end of the stick. And guess what? One thing you can rest for sure: the ones y'all feel like who's last are gonna be the ones who rise first. So keep on thinking, keep on thinking what y'all keep on thinking what y'all thinking, because y'all really think y'all got everything all figured out, don't you? Well, you don't. The one who have all the answers and the solutions to everything. Think about it. The Lord. Quit trying to do the Lord's work, and stop using His word. Stop using His word as a crutch just to justify your crap, and stop. And then y'all SOBs, all that. stuff y'all did over the 500 years, killing, raping, robbing, stealing, everything, every law that y'all so-called created, y'all broke them. But then you want to change them. Then you want to change them after you break them. Sit your tails, sit your pink tails down and shut up. That's your problem now. You think you got everything figured out. Y'all ain't got nothing figured out. If anybody's the problem, y'all are. Y'all so-called lawmakers, y'all crooked politicians, all y'all, if something happen, don't nobody say nothing, don't nobody know nothing. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all want the truth. Y'all prevent the truth from being known. And guess what? What you do in the dark gonna come to light regardless. Everybody gonna find out the truth eventually. And it's, but the ones who still here, I'm telling you this now. The ones who busted hell wide open, I ain't worried about them. Because guess what? Like I said, what goes like they say, you reap what you sow, and what goes around comes around. And karma's a B-I-B-I-T with spike heels and gasoline draws with the hole in the center. So quit trying to think that y'all know so much. Because y'all don't know a dang on thing. You barely know your name. So you probably can barely spell your name. And y'all think and then the ones who think they so smart don't know they butts from a hole in the ground. But but they robbed from religion, names, languages, and all that good stuff. What we already had. They tried to rob us of our freedom. They just try to rob us of our dignity. But when and then the ones who won't speak out, guess what? Don't be scared to speak your mind. Yeah, they say if you speak your mind, you got to worry about consequences later. Well, the hell with the consequences. Sometimes we got to do what we got to do. To let this world know that we sick and tired of being sick and tired. I mean, come on now. All these school shootings and trying to blow up and take over the world. What is wrong with these kids today? People say it was I heard it was something in the milk. Probably, probably something in everything we ain't gonna eat too. So I'm just saying, the only way this situation gonna change is if we try to make an effort to change it ourselves. But we the ones got to speak. I mean, if you want to take action, you don't have to get physical to do that. Talk to your brothers and sisters. Talk to your mothers and fathers. Talk to the people who you love. And just try to come together instead of drifting apart and coming at each other's throat. Because guess what? That sister y'all talk about, the ones y'all talk about they have on the tight dress, the fast girls and all, how fast they are, talking about how whorish they are, whatever. Guess what? They somebody's sister. So you gotta be careful about how y'all, especially guys, and this time it ain't got nothing to do with your race or your color. Guys, brother, I mean us. Come on now. Let's make a vow. We got to be careful about how we talk to our women as well. Think about it. Y'all can I mean we came from the women. I mean, look at they went through hours of pain in the delivery room, and you gonna treat women the way y'all treat them. You know what? That's not good. Especially when you call them out their names, when you put your hands on them. Cause I tell you right now, I don't allow, I don't approve of no man putting their hands on a woman unless you caressing them or loving them. That's different. But if you call yourself trying to be like, trying to give them black eyes and bust their jaws or whatnot, well, guess what? You you know better. You know better. You are no better. You put like this. You you. I want to, what I really want to say. I can't say it, but I'm just gonna say a worthless piece of trash and a poor excuse for a man. That's what I'm gonna say. If you're gonna put your hands on a woman, what I mean, you a poor excuse for a man. And ladies, if you call yourself trying to use a man for what he got, and then try to and the way you treat, make him feel he was less than a man, guess what? You're a worthless piece of trash and a poor excuse for a woman. And like I said, a lot of y'all are the original N word narcissists. You think it's all about you? You think people supposed to bow down and kiss you where you want to be kissed? Well, guess what? I don't. I took I took a class on kissing with people where they want to be kissing. Guess what? I failed because I refused to do it. So you know how I failed? I gave them the finger. Yeah. You know, if you know what the peace sign is, I showed them half of it. And like I said, we need to really, I mean, all this chaos, all this bigotry, racially motivated, racially motivated bull, uptight cops, all this need to stop. We on this earth together. Why can't we get along? Why can't we live together? I mean, and then certain certain ones got that hateful look, like they can't stand you. Well, guess what? I got that look too. If I don't like you, you look put like this. I come at you the way you come at me. You come at me wrong, I come hard, harder than Uncle Steel Crack Rock. And not only that, I will snatch the soul out of you. And I don't have to get physical to do that. You know, and when they say words can hurt, my words can. Because I will hit you where not only I will hit you where it hurt without getting physical, but after I get through with you, you'll think twice about you'll think twice about, and you be more considerate, respectable. And guess what? You'll respect me enough not to come at me. You might not like me, but you'll respect me enough to know how to come at me because like I said, I only treat people the way I want to be treated, and I'll get along with those who are willing to get along with me. Because everybody not gonna get along with you. But like I said, that doesn't give nobody the right to tease, mess with, or hurt their feelings or whatnot. People do have feelings, and some people act out on hurt feelings worse than you ever know. I mean, not. I mean, some you can hurt somebody so bad they can plot to get you, and you won't even see it coming. For real, like I was telling somebody, they were talking about that's been years, and they need to stop. It's been years ago. I don't care if it's been 20 or 50 years. If a person is not gonna never forget what they went through and how they've been treated. They might not they might not take action right then and now, but eventually it's something gonna trigger something gonna they're gonna have a flashback memory, and that's when it really triggers off. So that's why I say you don't know what a person go through. You don't know what's going through their mind, and you sure as H don't know what they thinking and plotting. I mean, they might, like I said, it might not happen that second, that moment, that minute, that moment, or whatever, but eventually, it might take months, it might take years, it might take decades, and it might take a century. But guess what? They gonna get you. And guess what? And that's the same way, that's the same way about karma. Karma might not, karma might not happen to you right then and there, but eventually down the line, it's gonna happen. Trust me. I mean, everything happened when it's supposed to. Everything happened when it happened, and it is what it is. And when it does, we just got to look at the fact and think about our wrongdoings. I mean, a lot of us not gonna admit about our wrongdoings for real, because it's not that, it's because we're ashamed. But I mean, the best thing to do, admit you're wrong and correct it. That you'll be the bigger and better person, and on top of that, God will be on your side. I mean, like I said, if you like when you strive for righteousness, righteousness follow you, and God is on your side. But when you do wrong, you know bad will follow you, and God will punish you and God, not only God will punish you, but you got to be held. You got to be held for your you got to be held accountable for your actions for real. You just got to. I mean, people just got to learn to accept the fact, to accept what they've done. And some people, they say, we got to accept things that we cannot change and know the wisdom and the difference. Yeah, but guess what though? If it's something that we can change, or if something that we know we can change, we can do it. But some people don't want to change. Some people don't like change. Well, guess what? Change is going to happen whether we want it to or not. I mean, that's what life is all about, changes. I mean, come on now. Nothing stays the same forever. Some things don't stay the same forever sometimes. But that I can understand that too. But sometimes sometimes it's always a terrible ending. And sometimes that terrible ending also too can lead to hatred. I mean, animosity. Yep. And guess what? And a lot of people, when they have all that, they say they holding grudges. Some, let me tell you something about them grudges. When you plotting, when you when you just sitting and plotting, that's when people should worry, because that's a grudge. Really, when you hold a grudge against somebody, you plotting revenge. And yeah, that is true. You plotting to get revenge. I mean, you might not tell no, you might not reveal it until after it happens. But a lot of times, sometimes a lot of people, when they're plotting, they have a grudge. But guess what? I can be. It's always. I can be mad at. I can be real ticked off at somebody, especially for something they did real hurtful towards me. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, we all gonna be mad about it. But guess what? Long as you don't let it overtake your spirit, because yeah, like for the situation I went through, I was really ticked about it, especially with the person, by the way they did me. But y'all know how I handled that. I'm gonna tell you something. I didn't get ugly. Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie. Yes, I did get ugly, but I didn't get physical. And I'm just saying, I didn't plot. I put like this. I didn't plot to go out for revenge or out for blood, which I did. Yeah, I was out for blood, but yeah, and I was out for revenge. But the revenge, y'all, the revenge y'all thinking didn't really happen. As far, I mean, what I'm saying though, no physicalities. It was a whole lot of cursing. It was a whole lot of anger, yelling, and cursing. Yeah, from my end, yeah. But guess what? But I still thought about, I still didn't act, I still thought not act out. Yes, I was angry, but I didn't act out because I, you got to think before you act. And when you think before you act, guess what? While I was thinking, I was at the same time, I was praying for strength, courage, wisdom, and guidance. I mean, because if it wasn't for the Lord, honestly, I probably would have been in jail or prison right now for murder. But thank God, like I said, thank God for acting and thinking and not acting it out. Because, like I said, that's why a lot of people. That's how a lot of people. That's how a lot of people get messed up. They don't think. So the best thing for you to do, remember, always think. And guess what? It'll work. It works for real because guess what? I'm right here going live telling you and talking about it now. So if I believe it or not, I wouldn't be on here talking about it if I wouldn't have thought before I act. So guess what? I thank the Lord for that. But anyway, my brothers and sisters, it's almost that time for me to go for a little bit. But and again, I apologize for being late. Technical difficulties, yeah, internet, and then I blame Spectrum, but it's okay. It's gonna get better. But before I go, again, I want to give a shout out again to Skip Clark out of California for the loss of his wife. Please keep him and the family in your prayers as they go through their bereavement at this moment. God bless them all, and I love them too. And and I want to thank everybody for tuning in, for all tuned in at OG Lowe's Hangout Corner. And if you haven't caught it live, it's always, like I say, it's always a replay. I call it YouTube on demand, but my playlist is OG Lowe's Hangout Corner. So that's the playlist. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so and just hit the subscribe button at Carlos Stargell 910. And those who have, I really thank you and I appreciate you. And I hope you continue to enjoy my podcast, OG Lowe's Hangout Corner. Your host, Carlos Stargell, the last. Yeah, they call me the last because like I'm not gonna tell you again, but yeah, call me the last. But before I leave out, like I said, before I leave out, I just want to let y'all know. I just want to let y'all know that I will be going live later today at 6:15. So, like I said earlier, it was technical difficulties, but I would have been there. I would have been live earlier, but thanks to technical difficulties, but it's all good. I'm here now, and I will be back at 6:15. And you better bet your bottom dollars, y'all, because when I come back, like I always, it's gonna be a stone groove. You know what I'm saying? But just now, like I said, and please keep the families in Nashville in your prayers, especially for the victims especially for the families who and of the victims who were killed, who were murdered, and please pray for Nashville. Well, just pray for Nashville, Tennessee. Well, that's enough time, right? That's enough time, y'all. Until then, y'all have a y'all have a prosperous day. Get yourself together, eat a little bit, and I will. And if y'all, and please tune in later on at 6:15, OG Lowe's Hangout Corner. I'm your host, Carlos Stargell. And I will be back at 6:15 station identification. But until then, peace, two fingers. I'm out here like last year. Y'all be good. Later.